today of the old homes. All my people are scattered and gone, while some have been living in sin and sorrow, and others made heaven their home. I know I'm not promised tomorrow. Through this world I roam. I've heard of a city called heaven, and I'm trying to make it my home. I know I'm a pilgrim of sorrow, while through this world I roam. Someday we'll be gathered together, and then we'll make heaven our home. Tis a pleasure to think of the old home where our dear mother would pray. But now that the circle's been broken, and mother's in heaven today, although we are lonely and scattered, while through this world we roam, someday we'll be gathered together, and then we'll make heaven our home. I know I'm a pilgrim of sorrow, while through this world I roam. I know I'm not promised tomorrow, but I tend to make heaven my home. Hello, friends. Back on here again. Back with my number 2 banjo. My drunkard banjo. The one I inscribed my signature on when I was a little drunk. I don't know how I keep getting this back, but here we are. Always nice to be reminded of a good old happy mistake like that. That was a Uncle Dave tune called I Intend to Make Heaven My Home. Very pretty tune. A nice slow tune as well. It's nice to switch back and forth between, you know, fast playing and just melodic playing. So, why is this banjo back in my possession? Well, my buddy I made this for said he feels really bad that he hasn't really had time to fuss around with it, so it's just been sitting in storage. And so he wants it to go to a good home, somebody that'll actually play it, I guess. These were his words, not mine. But he said, you gotta know somebody in the banjo community that might want this. I says, maybe. So it's gonna go up for sale on eBay. I like to ship with eBay, because, you know, shipping with the post office, I'm not gonna say it. It's just too much, y'all. So, just in case, I'm gonna get off this damn tree. Y'all, in case y'all need a reminder what this is about, it's a poplar body with a black walnut neck, and once upon a time it had matching tuners, but it is what it is. Bone nut with some maple flush fretting. There's no dot inlays on this one, just so y'all know, but I'm sure that's not a big deal. Those of you who might play fretless a bunch, you know, you don't really look out for that stuff anyway. The hide is tacked on via oak ring pegged on there with glue. The skin hide has been stained with a red pigment. I don't know, it looks kind of cool. I think it is. And of course, my infamous drunkard's stamp of approval. This one's really special. You're not just getting a Coyote Woodworks banjo, you're getting a Kyoto Woodworks banjo. But second edition, basically. The very second one. Very playable. Very fun. The neck is a little fat, which, you know, first, second, third banjos, you get better at shaping the neck eventually. But it is a mountain banjo. If I didn't already, that wasn't already obvious. I'm not gonna mention the price here on the YouTube, just, I don't know, I feel kind of weird about it, but if anyone's interested in owning this banjo, hit me up. And the first one to hit me up and is really interested, then we'll discuss that. It ain't anything much. He paid a sum amount in the past, and he paid a little extra to have it redone or fixed. So he's not looking to get back what he paid for it in total, just, you know, just a little bit at least. And like I said, if anyone's actually interested in owning this mountain banjo, I'm here to let you all know it is up for sale. He's just asking me to lend him a helping hand because in Washington, it's kind of a lame state to try and find somebody that wants to purchase a banjo. Not that it's impossible, but let's face it, this isn't Tennessee or nothing like that. Any other place, really. Washington is just lame for this kind of stuff. Washington's very humongous when it comes to, you know, guitars or custom guitars, but banjos, I think it's going up. Since I started this journey, I think it's going up more and more than it was before. But that's neither here or there, or around the chair, as Mr. Good Old Ricky from Trailer Park Boys used to preach. Anyway, this banjo is up for sale. And whether you're interested in the comments section or you want to message me directly, you can email me at coyotewoodworks1993@gmail.com. Or if you want to, the first person to message me in the comments maybe, if nobody emailed me before that, then yeah, by all means email me. Then we'll get more into the details in private. One last close-up of this banjo, just to make sure you know what you're getting. This is number 2. And my quality, or what I accept as quality nowadays, is certainly not what this is, but hey, it's a nice rustic wooden banjo with plenty of happy little mistakes. Like that right there. That's probably some glue. Yeah, that's probably some glue, and that's why you're seeing it. Because I did put some oil on this, as well as ton oil over the top of that. And, let's see, can you see that? Yeah, it's been dinged up. Like I said, he's been keeping it in storage, mostly because he has, lovable children, very lovable children, just very wild children, so things tend to happen. you know how it is. And then that little black, hang on, this little black colored stripe is a little indented because what was that again? Oh yeah, when I was shaping the neck, I was using a draw knife, and at the time I was fairly new to using draw knives. Long story short, I took off just a little bit much, and I didn't really want to justify filling it with wood filler. I mean, I would have been fine, but he said, at the time, he said, nah, I'd rather just leave it. And I was like, all right. So, like I said, you're not getting a picture-perfect banjo, but then again, these are rustic instruments, these type of banjos, that is, so I think as long as it plays good, that's all y'all care about, right? I will say, this is very important to note. Because it sat in storage for a long time, the skin hide definitely took in a little more humidity than it probably would have otherwise. So if you live in a cold environment, this bridge might sag a little bit much to the point where it might not be enjoyable. That's why I recommend, if you do live in one of those places, play near a heater or inside the house even. That'll make it warm. You don't have to have it by a heat source necessarily, but it does, you know, dry it up and make it taut very fast. And other than that, there's really nothing else wrong with this banjo. But because that can happen if you play outside a lot and it's cold, sometimes the strings might pop out, as it kind of did just easily there. You might fancy putting a taller bridge or just having a different bridge altogether and, you know, making your own fresh slots to try and minimize that a little bit. It used to do that way, way worse, but since I changed this tailpiece, as I previously mentioned in the last banjo video I had this, it's gotten a lot better. So if anyone's interested in this banjo, you know how to reach me now by my email, or if anyone's the first person that wants it in the YouTube comments, if nobody's emailed me by then it's yours. Like I said, I'm going to ship through eBay, so the price in full along with the shipping, it's going to be on eBay and all that good stuff. And because of that, you're going to have really dirt cheap shipping, because like I said, the post office, they're going to charge you an arm and a leg and even a head sometimes. So if any of this interests any of y'all, or you'd like to have a banjo that's been already made, because I've been asked that before if I had any on standby to be bought, you know. Now I got one. My very first second commission build. By the way, before I forget, if anyone's interested in knowing how I find a lot of these songs, or because I notice a lot of times somebody might say, that's a new one for me. And I think it's because they're trying to get rid of all this stuff. A lot of these songs used to be on YouTube, but now I'm seeing them just going away. And some of them I get, like Run Something Run. I'm not going to say it, but if you know, you know. But this is a book I got, I want to say, in 2015. And it came with at least 10 CDs of a lot of the tracks that are in this book. For example, let's flip the pages. I intend to make heaven my home. Kissing on the Sly. There are so many songs in here. Songs that I've never even tried or heard of. But here's another one you might have heard before, maybe. Honest confession is good for the soul. Definitely y'all must have heard this one, because String Bean definitely plays it, and probably somebody else. She was always a chewing gum, boom, num, boom, num. But this book is cool. It has so many pages of songs, and I forgot I had it all this time. It even has maps of a lot of the places he traveled in his journey, his younger days before he went professional in the Grand Ole Opry, because he spent a good half of his life just working hard and traveling and playing where he can to make folks happy. And then in his later days, 50s, you know, that's when he started getting more and more well known, even though he already was pretty well known at that point. Let me find you a picture of this mule cart. Ah, there it is. There he is. There he is. Look at him. He's happy. There he is in his cart. Uncle Dave Macon, slowing down but still moving. Old-time religion, old reliable way. My gasoline consists of corn, oats, whip, and hay. And there's his horse. Banjoist and songster. Just such a cool book, y'all. I can't believe I forgot about this. Let me, this is a real short, this part right here. It's directly from his mouth. It's real short. I've been wagoning for over 20 years and living on the farm. I'll bet $100 to a half a ginger cake. I'll be here when the trucks is gone. An auto truck has a guiding wheel while I hold my line. Oh, when my feet and body get cold, I'm a-walking half the time. Quite the poet, Uncle Dave was. I speak right to my prayer, they understand my talk. And when I holler, way get a right, they know just how to walk. And here's the final one I'm gonna read, y'all. Says an auto truck runs quick and fast. The wagon hasn't the speed. For good mules and a Mitchell wagon is the safest, oh yes indeed. I'm on my way to heaven. When I'm gonna tell you just how I feel. I'd rather ride in a wagon and go to heaven than to go to hell in an automobile. Man, that is just cool. But this book more or less covers the history of Dave Macon, where he came from, how he came to be, how his he got his son Doris to join him later on, and all that stuff. It may or may not tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly, because we're all human beings. We all have our ups and downs, but that's all right. Nothing wrong with that. The Dixie Dewdrop. I don't know if this book is still able to be bought. I feel like you would. I mean, if we can still purchase the Bible, especially the quote-unquote banned, no, sorry, that's not the right word. The quote-unquote non-canonical scriptures of God, the Apocrypha, then I would say you could be able to get this book. I'm not sure if you'd be able to get it with CDs like I did, because at the time it was a package deal, but if anyone's interested in, discovering more Dave Macon tunes, or wondering where the heck can I find the lyrics, because Google is beyond unreliable, get yourself this book. It's a very basic title. It hardly explains anything that's in it. Once you open it, though, there's so much to absorb. What else do we got? Before I get to the songs, though, check out this picture. We got Dave Macon on the far left, and quite a few others you might recognize. A very young Roy Acuff. And right next to Acuff on his left, we got Brother Oswald. I'm sorry, bashful Brother Oswald. Just a very old picture, but they all look happy. And even if they're not happy, they're trying to not let you know that they're depressed. Here we go. Right off the bat, here's the songs on the first page of songs. Keep my skillet good and greasy. Then, let's go, just like that. Here's the other one that I just sang for you today. I intend to make heaven my home. Now, some of the songs covered in this book with the words, either there might be missing letters or something might look incomplete. So if it feels like it is, just use your intuition and add whatever you think you gotta add to make better sense of it. Because sometimes when you're singing and you're just going off this book, you might think, something might be missing. Kind of like the Bible. When you read Genesis, I know when I read Genesis, there's a whole lot of missing context. I know. Same thing here. So but unlike the Apocrypha, where we can just read it ourselves and then have all our questions answered, or a lot of them, just use your imagination and put a word, add whatever you got to do to make better sense. Then here's a nice old picture of a big giant building. The new National Life Building in downtown Nashville. Location of the WSM Studio, 5th floor. The Grand Ole, December 16, 19... Here, you don't need to see my ugly mug. Let's just try and... December 16, 1939. The Grand Ole Opry at the Raymond Auditorium, Nashville, Tennessee. Pretty cool stuff, huh? Let's see. We got any more good pictures before we close out for the day? I mean, there's tons of them. I just don't have time to go through them all. Yeah, just a nice old picture of the Grand Ole Opry. So many people, so many faces you might recognize from pictures of old. Oh, heck yeah. Here's a good picture right here. I don't know if any of y'all have seen the movie, the Grand Ole Opry movie from 1940, I want to say. But it was just a short, not short, at least an hour plus long, but it was a movie entirely made based on the Grand Ole people in the Grand Ole Opry. Dave Macon in this one, he performed a few songs. He performed with a lot of the musicians here, including Roy Acuff, Brother Oswald, and a bunch of other people. But one of the songs he played with the group was Soldier's Joy, but revised the words for more fun, good time hoedown. And then the second one was, which one was it again? Taking me back, taking me back, taking me back to my old Carolina home, where he holds the banjo like a rifle and banga 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 with my Gatling gun. This guy, who I can't remember his name, was freaking awesome though. If the movie's still on YouTube, and I think it might be, please look it up. It's a awesome movie from days of old, and it's one of the few times you get to see Dave Macon actually in the flesh. As in, you don't just get to hear a recording or a record, you actually get to see him on video. So if you're interested in that stuff, please look it up on the YouTube. It might still be there. If the movie isn't all there, I know increments of it is. It's really cool, y'all. And with that, y'all, I'm gonna close out and head on home, because it's been a long day at work and I'm tired, and time to go feed the kitties. My 2 cats, that is. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm not entirely sure. I might be doing a song lesson on, excuse me, fucking spitting. But yeah, it might be a Jesse James tutorial. It could be a couple other different songs I might, pick. But either which way, it's time for another tutorial. It's been a while, and I've been asked way too many times, and I've just been slacking way too many times. So look forward to that. I look forward to hanging out with each and every one of you again. Y'all have a blessed day.